Hello and welcome back to part 2 of our shooting game. You'll recall in the last video we set things up. We put in the sprites, or we created sprites. We created some variables and we talked about this feature called broadcasting. In this video we're going to be focusing on the target coding and the big cross coding. So let's get started on that. Well, what we've got here is my target. Now, I had called it Sprite 1 and now I've renamed it as target. And you'll recall that this button was called button 5. I've gone and called it end. Let's start with the target. And we're going to be putting in the following code and then I'll explain it. So the first thing is when I receive is what we need. So we're going to put when I receive. And this is for the target, so we make sure we're in the target and we're in code. So when I receive game over, at the end of the game, what we want to do with our target is we want to hide it. What happens when we receive new game? So when I receive new game, well, we want the opposite to happen, don't we? We want to show our target. But how are we going to steer it? Well, we're going to be using our mouse. And so to do that, we'll need the control forever. And yes, our forever will be just 10 seconds. But during that time, we want to be able to use our mouse to steer our target. To do that, we're going to go to motion. And we're going to look for go to. So let's put go to in here and you'll see there's a little drop down and we want to go to mouse pointer. Alright, so that's the first bit done. We've gone and done the target. Now let's go and look at the end sprite and the coding that's needed for that. Well, in many cases it's going to be the opposite. So here what we have is the following. We're going to, and we'll just put it in this order. When I receive new game, I'm going to hide. So obviously if we're starting a new game, we'll want to hide the cross. Okay, let's go back to events and when this sprite is clicked. So at the end of the game, we want to have a new game. A nice easy way of doing it is clicking on this sprite and sending out a broadcast message which says new game. So we're going to broadcast new game. Okay, so and let's just put this in and we'll swap things around so we can see. When I receive game over, I'm going to want to show the cross. And up here, we need to put in new game. All right, so let's just do that. Now I'm going to move these around so that I can explain it a little bit better. So we have gone and put in 3 threads. At the end of the game, we're going to get a message which says game over and our cross is going to appear. I want to have another game. So I'm going to click on this sprite and it's going to create a broadcast of new game. When I've started a new game, as it says here, I will want this cross to disappear. So those are 2 sprites now completed with code, and in our final video we're going to go on to the parrot where there's certainly a lot more code to do. So get that bit done and I'll see you in part 3. Thank you. Bye bye.